This Red Skull Blitz was the craziest ever in Marvel Strike Force history. We are definitely talking about that in this video, plus more Black Order talk, Taskmaster, and the rest of your questions from the Mailbag channel on the Discord server. And if you're ready for Monday Mailbag number 38, guys, you know what to do. Yeah, let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. I hope you had a great week, and I hope you and your family are all staying safe. This Red Skull Blitz, though, oh my goodness, we had some crazy scores. We are going to talk about that in this video, and I'm going to answer the rest of your questions from the Mailbag channel on the Discord server. Now, if you are not a member of the Discord server, make sure you use the link down below, join that. You can have your questions there for future Mailbag videos, and there's no cost to it. Might as well do it if you're on Discord, right? But let's get to your questions, guys. All right, and first question of the week is about our boy Red Skull. Since he is invulnerable and the Hydra minions don't need heals either, why are people replacing Hydra scientists with Grenadier? Well, I think the answer for that comes with the passive of Hydra scientist. Passive of Grenadier doesn't add too much, but let me just read this passive of the Hydra scientist. Gain 20%, and this is at the T4 level, by the way. Gain 20% max health. Hydra and Red Skull allies also gain 20% max health. So my goodness, apply regeneration and 2 positive positive effects to the 2 most injured Hydra allies. So that is awesome right there. And on war defense, where these guys really shine, when an enemy drops below 50%, apply defense down and offense down to that enemy. So that is a very strong passive, and for that reason alone is why I would recommend Scientist over Grenadier, unless you have some weird red star situation where you have like a 7 red star Grenadier and a 0 red star Scientist. Then maybe it might make sense to switch those up. But yeah, if all things being equal, Scientist is going to be a lot better than Grenadier for that team. Next question. Aloha, brother. When we have the Drax Blitz, the predictions were into 101 to 2,000 rank were predicted between 3.5 and 4.1 million. I'm a new player and only completed the milestones. Question is, why did I play so high with such a low score? Well, the reason is because you just said you're a newer player. And a lot of people may not be aware of this, but there's basically 2 Blitz charts. One for newer players, which you get out of after X amount of days. I think it's about 90 days or 3 months. I could be wrong on that, but it's after a certain amount of time, you're out of that new player chart of Blitz and are put into the Blitz chart with everybody else. So with that said, yeah, you're gonna be out of that and be up to the normal scores some point. But while you are in that new player Blitz chart, enjoy it. Get those shards of those characters, my friend, because it's gonna get a lot harder once you get taken out into that normal Blitz chart. All right, next question. Can you use Mr. Sinister to clone Mr. Sinister and use the clone Mr. Sinister to clone the same Mr. Sinister and have 3 Mr. Sinisters? The answer is yes, but you gotta remember Mr. Sinister's passive. On spawn, he's going to get 3 ability energy, and that cloned Mr. Sinister is not going to have that 3 ability energy, so you're not going to be able to use his ultimate, which clones people, on turn 1. So I think it's a 3 more turns you'll be able to get that. So after that cloned Mr. Sinister's 3rd turn, I think you're going to be able to use that. So it is possible, but you're going to need to be in a match where you have multiple turns of that clone and hoping he survives, or hoping your Sinister survives long enough to get that ultimate up again. So it is possible, but in a lot of battle situations, it's probably not going to happen. Next question. Hi there. Hope all is well with you and your family, and I hope the same for you, brother. I hope all is well with all your selves and all your families. Want to know if you think they would ever make it possible so we had 6 tunes instead of 5. Ever is a very long time, so I would say yes, it's probably possible, but I have not heard anything about a new game mode requiring different amounts of characters. So I would say at least for the next year or so is probably very unlikely. But with Fox Next, you never know. They play their cards pretty close to the vest sometimes, and sometimes we have no knowledge, even in the envoys or any of the rumors that we're hearing or data mines. Sometimes we have no knowledge of things that are upcoming. So this potentially could be one of them, but I think with the real-time PvP being their new game mode on the horizon, I think this is very far away, if ever gonna come. Next question, and this is kind of a more a longer question. Greetings from Lockdown, California, brother. I hope all is well with you and yours during this crisis. Same for you, and same for all of you guys out there. Real quick, can you explain more on the test server that you and some content creators have access to? Well, there's not much. Can you simulate a war defense scenarios? No, there's really no access to war. Now, to be fair, I haven't been on the test server in about 3 weeks or so, just because there's so little to do. Pretty much the only game mode that I was able to test anything out in is Blitz, and you know that's not the best mode to test out characters. There's no real way to really get raids going, because you know people aren't there enough to contribute raid keys to launch a raid, so really no way to get raids going. And there's no war because it's on a server separate from the public has access to. So yeah, there's not a lot with this thing. And hypothetical question: if you pull the 7 red star Hulk, how hype would you be? I'll be a little hype. You know, it's my favorite character, but unfortunately, he's not one of the best characters in the game. I'd probably be more hype for a meta character like a Black Bolt or a Phoenix or a Hela than a Hulk at this point. Unfortunately, you know, just being honest. Next question. Hope you're well and hope you're smashing it. Yes, I hope you are too. Next question. My question is, could you and Mobile Gamer do a team up video of tackling Ultimate 7 and your strategies? Hit a roll around the Ronin node in the mid. So right now I'm on the far right lane, and I think they moved Mobile Gamer to the middle lane. So we're on different lanes now. We were on the same lane back a while ago, but I'm sure if we wanted to make a video on this, they could do a day or so that we could line up on the same lane just to make content. So it's definitely a possibility, something I'd have to talk to him about, if it's something that you guys want to see, if there's enough demand for a video, or a video sounds fun. That is how I choose videos. So I usually end up with fun videos, but sometimes if there's a big demand, like there possibly could be for this Ultimate 7 video, then let me know, and it's probably gonna get made. Next question. What's up from Indiana? What is up from Texas, brother? All right, was wondering the best places to put T4s. I could do Yo-Yo's special, Crystal's passive, Human Torch's ultimate, Loki's ultimate, or Minerva's passive. So Yo-Yo's special, it looks really good on paper, but I don't like that. That was one of my worst T4 investments. So don't do that one unless you got a really big Yo-Yo and you're a real big fan of Yo-Yo. A Human Torch's ultimate, that's gonna help that Fantastic Four team. But for myself, the only real places that I use the Fantastic Four team in full is gonna be in War and in Blitz. So I don't know if that's enough to justify that T4, especially because it's not a turn 1 move. And then Minerva's passive, I don't know if you should do any T4s on Minerva at this point. So it's going to be up to Crystal's passive and Loki's ultimate, and both of those are very good. I have both of those T4s. I would recommend both of those. It's going to come down to which team you use more. If you're using Inhumans more, you do that Crystal passive. It's going to help with their survivability. If you are using the Asgardians more, Loki's ultimate is going to help them a lot more, especially on war defense. But it's going to help that full Asgardian team in pretty much every game mode that you use them in. So it's going to come down to usage, brother. What do you use more, Asgardians or Inhumans? Next question. When does the raid difficulty selector take effect? No idea. It was supposed to be in the current patch that we're in right now, which I believe is 3.9. I could be wrong on that, but it was supposed to be in this current patch. Then it was delayed to the next patch, which I believe is coming this week based on the in-game message that we got last week about an update dropping soon. So it could be sometime this week, or it could have been one of these things that got pushed back because of all this social isolation that we're doing. And I think a lot of the Fox Next people are working at home. So not sure. It could be sometime this week. It could be tomorrow, or it could be in future updates. I am not sure. Next question. Valley working on my Marauders. Just got Sinister to T13 and have Sabretooth and Mystique there from Brotherhood. My Strife is only 2 reds and 2 yellows. So even if I take him to gear 13, will he be viable? So the good thing is, this is a question from Wednesday. We got notice on Friday that Strife is coming to the Blitz store this Wednesday. So you'll be able to get more gold stars for him. Will he be viable? I have not really found Mines viable as a protector. I think he does some good things on that team, but protecting that team is not one of them. So maybe if he has more yellow stars on them, maybe more red stars on him, maybe he'll do better. If he is, and who is the fifth best, who should I use to fill up that remaining spots? I've seen Cable, Kingpin, Merc, Riot Guard, so I'm just not sure. I think all of those are very viable options for that last spot. And I guess it's going to be determined by the power level that you have Strife compared with your other Marauders members. So Kingpin, I like. He gives that defense up to the rest of the team, which they're going to need because, you know, Strife is not doing a good job protecting that team. Merc, Riot Guard gives you another protector and also gives defense up to the rest of the team. So you might want to go with Strife and Merc Riot Guard. Just don't use Strife's taunt on the first turn. Let Merc Riot Guard be the taunt, be the tank for that team. Cable, I've seen a lot of people using that iteration with some good success. My Cable is just way too low to really use him in that spot. Doesn't have a lot of synergy with the rest of the, as far as power levels. He's not really synchronized with the rest of that team. So anyone will work, but my suggestion was keep Cable in there for his controller properties that he provides to the team, and then put Merc Riot Guard. But all of those I think should work pretty well. Next question. Greetings from the UK. Hopefully I have not missed the mailbag yet, but if Black Bolt kills an undead warrior, aka Greg, let's stop him from reviving. So technically no, because Greg is not reviving. He's dying, and Hela is summoning up a new Greg. So Hela is summoning every time does. So his passive might screw up the summoning because I think he has a some counters to summoners, but as far as stopping Greg from reviving, no, it will not do that. Next question. Yo, Valley pulled symbiotes off my Brotherhood team to make a symbiote inhuman team. Until I can work on Toad and Blob, I'm thinking of doing a Brotherhood / Marauders Blitz hybrid team. Which members would you team up? I'm thinking Magneto, Juggernaut, Pyro, and Sinister are necessary, but Sabretooth and Mystique both have great synergies with Magneto and Sinister. What do I do? So, haven't tried that combo in blitzing, but I have tried both the Sabretooth and Mystique options in one of the Greek raids. I can't remember which one has that mutant node that I use them on, but I think I have liked the Mystique version better of this team. Now, it may have just been the opponents that have been going on that specific raid node, but I think I like that Mystique better. But try out both, brother. I don't see any harm in trying out both, especially in blitz mode, and let me know which one you like better. Next question. Sup, ValleyFlyin? Do positive FX stacks? Groot gives defense up, then Captain America's defense up. Do I have 2 defensive ups or 2 defense up? 2 turns of defensive up. So I think you're going to have 2 turns of defense up. You're not going to have a 50% damage reduction and another 50% damage reduction. I think it's going to have the defense up on 1 turn, and then you're going to have the defense up on the previous turn. And I don't pay attention to all those numbers because I play on 3x speed. If someone's paying attention, runs this thing on 1x speed, and looks at all the numbers and says differently, then trust them. But as far as I know, I think you're going to get 2 turns of defense up. Hey, Valley, for DD3, do you need 5 global, 5 cosmic, and 5 city, or can you do the global nodes with 3 or 4 tunes? So I'm not in that node. I'm not in that mode yet. I've gotten my 4. I don't have the 5th to get into there. So we will have to wait a little bit for me to give you firsthand knowledge on this. But from what I have heard, once you are entered, you can use less than the 5 required tunes to do each of those nodes. But I'm not sure if that resets every time you go into a new requirement. So once you get to that global requirement, you need 5 global, and then you could do it with less, or if it stacks through the whole thing. So if anybody has firsthand knowledge on this, let me know. But I do know that once you are in there, you can do it less. But again, my big question is if it resets every time you move on to the next trait. Next question, ValleyFlyin. Hope your family is doing well, and I hope you and all your families are doing well as well, brother. Why not just remove the tags for war only ability? Then you would have a ton of theory crafting for arena and raids as well. This would make arena 10 times better. I agree. I agree with you. I have never ever been a fan of these mode specific traits that these characters have in their kits, especially the war defense. I think that is the most boring thing they could do to add to the game, and it's like the laziest way they could have improved the full clears on war, because that was their intention with these defensive teams, is to improve these full clears, which still happen, by the way. So yeah, I would, you know, useless tunes like Namor would actually have some viability in other game modes as well. So I don't like it. I hope eventually it gets phased out, or we have an option in maybe the real-time PvP to have all of these bonuses available. So yeah, I agree with you. It would make things a lot better in my opinion. Next question. Hey brother, ValleyFlyin, I sort of answered this last week, but with the current roster, who would you take into Dark Dimension 2 for the first time for a new / mid-game players 150 days in? I have Minerva and will be getting Fury. I know the 5 normal tunes they recommend, but would you change it up? I'm not sure what they recommend. I know what I've recommended just because I've used that team. But you know what I always say? Get your superior uniques, and whoever you have that you could rank up to Gear 13, that's who you should bring into Dark Dimension 3 first. Now, this is the way I did it. For each of those superior uniques, you have a few different characters. And what I did was I picked like the character that I like the best for each of those superior uniques. So Star-Lord and Minerva were must. I was really going after them. And then for these other characters, sometimes they were ideal for the rounding out the squad. Sometimes they weren't. Like I really wanted Jessica Jones, but I just couldn't get her part. So I ended up using Star-Lord, Minerva, Groot, Rocket, and Fury. And that's who I took in. At the first place, I had Juggernaut, and I didn't really want Juggernaut to be Gear 13, but it got me into the game mode. So I think getting into the game mode is more important than selectively choosing characters, because these superior uniques, a lot of RNG involved, which means it's out of your control. So that keep that in mind when you're farming these characters. Next question. What is up, brother, from the UK? Big fan of your content. Listen to it on YouTube most days while doing housework. So I'm glad this improves your housework experience. And what is up from Texas, brother? Just finished watching the most recent news video with Casino. My thought is that given that you could potentially stop Thanos from empowering if you can kill a member of the Black Order, would it make sense that Cull Obsidian is another protector that helps keep softer targets like Corvus and Proxima with a spawn taunt like Drax? It's definitely possible. What I've heard, the rumors I've heard, which may or may not be true, is that this team is uncounterable. So that may be something that the devs thought of, and then the player base were like, oh wait, this is a counter to that. So yeah, if he's not getting all these stones until Thanos' first turn, he's not the fastest character. If he could kill one of those Black Order members before Thanos' turn, technically it would make sense. But I would think that they would put in some counters to these measures with the kits. But again, we don't know the kits. We don't even know if Thanos is empowered is really worth building up this full team for. But I'm assuming that it is, and I'm assuming this is a strong meta team. So we will have to wait and see. Like a lot of the answers to these questions, we'll have to wait and see. Next question. What is the highest punch up you've ever done? I've just done a 250k X-Men to a 512 Wakandans. Man, that is pretty impressive. That's more than any punch up that I've done. I think my biggest is between 150 and 200k, and you know, usually those I don't remember because I only do those crazy punch ups when we're either definitively losing a war, definitively winning a war. That's when I test stuff out on war. Normally I'm going within a certain range. So I think mine is about 150 to 200. I honestly don't remember, but that is very impressive, brother. Congratulations on that huge punch up that you had right there. Aloha, brah, from Maine. Not really a question, but more of a friendly public service announcement to our fellow players regarding the rumored war raid bug. I have not tested this specifically, but I have heard multiple sources that this bug is still going on. And the PSA is make sure you log out of the game before going to raids. And I would also advise this instead of any PvE content. So raids, campaigns, and the challenges, you want to log out and stop whatever progression you had on war or blitz or even arena. So the way this Stark bug originally worked, and I've had, like I said, I had heard multiple reports that it is back, is when you go into PvP mode, sort of a PvP mode, because you're facing the AI with somebody else's team. Well, what was happening with the Stark Tech bug is the Stark Tech levels that the opponent had, whatever they had in whatever it is, blitz or war, that would be translated to your opponent. So if you had like a maxed out Stark Tech on your opponent in blitz, then that would also be applied to your opponents in raids. So yes, logging out solves that. If Fox Next is working on the issue, I am not sure. This was brought up to them a long time ago. I know at least a month ago, but you know, a lot of things have happened since then with that fixed MSF movement, and now with this virus stuff and socially isolating and everything. So I'm not sure how soon they're going to be to address a lot of these things, but I'm hoping that with this next client update that I'm still believing is going to be this week. Hopefully this will be addressed and fixed and got back to normal. This is fixed once. I'm not sure why it is reappeared again. Next question. Hey brother, greetings from Alberta. Greetings from Texas, brother. Got a hard one for you. If this is the 5th attempt this fight happens, who do you see winning? Khabib versus Ferguson? How do you predict the finish of this match? So, you know, unfortunately, I saw a tweet from Ariel Hawani that Khabib is in Russia and they have closed their borders. So no way of getting him out of the country, and they're looking for a new opponent for Tony. Unfortunately, hopefully Dana can pull some magic and get him out of the country somehow legally, not like by any crazy means, but hopefully they can allow this fight to happen somehow. But if not, I guess this will be pushed back even more. But as far as a prediction for this fight, this one is so hard. They're both so good and look so impressive in their last few fights. I think I gotta go with Khabib though. Tony's really good, but I think I gotta go just with Khabib. No, just with gut instinct. I think that's how you gotta predict this fight because both of them are so good. I'm gonna say Khabib by sub in round 4, and I don't know why I picked that, but it's just that's kind of a gut feeling that I'm having. But you know, if Tony wins in round 1 or Khabib wins in round 1, or either of them win by decision, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Next question. Thanks again for all the great content helping out the community. Should we be saving up orbs in case of an orb opening milestones for the event? So I'm gonna answer this the same way I always answer this. If you don't need orbs, then don't open them. You know, right now I have a good supply of gold, so I haven't opened a few gold orbs in a while, but once I run out of that gold, I'm going to be opening all my gold orbs. I have a lot of characters at 7 gold stars, so I don't open a lot of my premium orbs right away. But and same thing with red stars. The drop rates are usually so horrible. I usually wait till we get like a bonus event for new characters or older characters that I really want these stars for. So if you can wait, then wait. If you need the stuff right now, it's going to benefit you right now, then open the stuff. So gear orbs I've been opening, but I don't open the Kingpin orbs. I don't really open the Blitz orbs. There's, you know, the Alpha Raid orbs got updated, but the other 2 Greek Raid orbs are still pretty crappy. So I don't open those. Anything I don't need, I don't open, but everything else I do. And that's my recommendation. Good morning from the great state of Maryland. Good morning from the great state of Texas, brother. All right, last week you advised us to hold off on using your orbs because of the anniversary event. No, I didn't. I didn't say to hold off, but I said if you don't need the orbs, it makes sense not to open it. But I see we've gotten separate milestone orbs. Should I go ahead and open regular orbs? I have about 157 unused. So if you have a lot of your characters at 7 red stars or 7 gold stars, then you know, maybe wait until there's a reason to open it. Maybe it's a new character being added to those orbs that you really need. Maybe it's an over-opening event, or maybe you just lost your patience and you want to see if you can get some shards to take some characters up to the next level. I usually end up waiting for as long as possible, but like I said, if I need something, I'm gonna open those orbs. I have another sub question. How do you build up new characters? Do you take them straight to level 50, for example, or do you build them slowly level by level? Thank you. Hope and really enjoy the helpful content. So for me, I build up characters depending on my resources and what the character does. So if it's a one character that's going to make a team better, I got to bring that character up to a decent level, kind of where the rest of the team is, just so they're usable in Blitz. I know my mindset is a lot based on Blitz teams, but that was the game mode for so long that it hasn't really shifted away since it hasn't been as important. But anyway, so sometimes I'll build up just that character, take them up to level 60. That way I could get their abilities with 6, 6, 6, 4. But sometimes I gotta build multiple characters and it's gonna take a long time, and I level them very slowly. So with Blob and Toad, I leveled them up slowly together until I got them to a usable level. With Hydra, I'm building that team very, very slowly because I got to build 5 characters for that team to really work correctly. So it depends, but it depends, and it depends on my resources and what I need for that team to work fully. So there's no one answer for every single character. Our next question, Saiyan Min And apparently that's a term of endearment from Scotland. So what is up from Texas, brother? Love the content, adore the positivity. All right, quick questions here. Do you funk gear and ability a vendor where you could sell anything for in-game currency of your choice? Would it work? Would it be helpful? It would work. It would be helpful. The question is that is Foxnex likely to implement something like this? And I would say it's very low percentage of that happening, unfortunately, but it would be helpful. It would be, it would work. Idle character development. There is a game who apparently every YouTube video is sponsored by. I think I know which game you're talking about because that game sponsors this channel as well. But in that game, it allows a slow burn training room. Do you think that could work to help relieve the gold burden of leveling? So yes, what he's describing is in Raid Shadow Legends, you have a this place that you could put your characters and they just gain levels. After each level, you have to click on it to have it reset, but you're not spending any resources for that to happen. I would like something like that in Marvel Strike Force. As far as the likelihood of it being implemented, I would say that's also very low. But yeah, as far as the gold burden, it's something I definitely want, but I see myself getting about 1 million gold every day, which is enough for me to get to those milestones. On average, there's gonna be some days that are a lot less, but what pulls up the average is events like the payday, these big gold orb drops that we get, and then some other things that happen. So once in a while, it's lower, but it averages out to about 1 million per day. So I don't know if gold's that much of an issue anymore. I've seen them, do things to really try to up the amount of gold we got, but without trying to break the overall economy. So yeah, but one big thing, when they introduce a new bottleneck into the game, I feel that they should be easing up on some of the previous bottlenecks. So I would like that for gold. Blitz, I fight free every 2 hours. I pay charges for X fights beyond that point. What's the cooldown back? When is the cooldown back from 50, 100, etc. in a 3-day event? So that actually resets every time your daily calendar resets. So every time you get those daily achievements, every time that new thing pops up, that means your day in game resets, and your blitz cooldowns will also reset at that time. But more importantly, do you have toilet roll? Yes, we got a lot of toilet paper. I think the problem in my area is the grocery stores not having a lot of good food, not having a lot of meats. So hopefully people have built up their stockpiles, and then we could start seeing things return to normal at the grocery stores. Crossing my fingers on that one. Hey, ValleyFlyin, long-time listener, first-time caller, and hope you and your family are doing well during these crazy times. Same goes for you, brother. Has the current blitz charge currency increased as a part of the blitzing improvement? Used to be 500 max, but I've got up to 900 in the past week. I also haven't bought any of just getting them from login events like daily login rewards. So I have noticed my blitz charges were up to like 750. I don't know if the overall max capacity went up or if those counted towards a different mechanic, because I know when you buy blitz charges, you could exceed that max amount, and I know that they were doing 10 for 10 and some other things, so I'm not sure if those were like special blitz charges that allowed us to exceed that amount. But I haven't went over 500 for a while. Normally I spend them and then I bring it up to 500 or close to 500. So first 10, I am not sure if you guys have gotten your blitz credits through normal means. Let me know in the comments if that max level has been increased. Next question, who would be better, Hand Assassin with 4 of the 6 stars being red, or Nobu with 2 of the 6 stars being red? I asked because I'm working on getting Phoenix. I have had Hand Assassin at 4 red star, Nobu at 2 red star plus 1 yellow. Don't care for either of his characters. I hate Hand Assassin more, but from the looks of things, I might rank her up. I would say go with whoever you have the most gold stars with. Both Hand Assassin and Nobu are pretty bad characters. I think Nobu's slightly better. He does have some weird synergy with Hela, but I don't know if anybody's really going to run that team because Hela has her own team that works very well. So with that said, go with whoever you got the most gold stars with. Both of those characters aren't really worth stressing too much about. They're not that great either. So yeah, do whoever you have the biggest head start on, because Phoenix, very, very good character. Next question, what is up from Pittsburgh, brother? I've noticed you and OMG consistently blitzing at a tier 8 level. I also recognize the power in your squad compared to my own. I've been playing free to play for a year and I'm only a mid gamer. I could dive through 6 in Blitz. Should I be able to punch up to 8? It depends on your teams. It's not necessarily your power of your teams, but certain teams, when they're built correctly, can punch up at 8.3, which is the biggest multiplier that you could get in Blitz. So for example, my Hydra team, right now, I think it's only about 126k power, which is pretty low compared to some of my other teams, but they could win a tier 0.83, 8.3 in Blitz, where some of my other teams, my Shield team right now, my hybrid one with Captain America, Black Widow, they have a lot more power than that Hydra team, but they're not able to win consistently at 8.3. A lot of winning in Blitz is just knowing your teams, knowing what are the counters that you need to avoid, and knowing about how much you could punch up with each team. So at the mid-game level, you should be able to do tier 8 in Blitz if you've built your teams correctly. So yeah, just take a look at the teams and their matchups. And the more Blitz you play, the better you're going to know the matchups, which are good and which aren't. Next question, anniversary credit question. When you click on the credit, it says that you earn it through Blitz, Raid, and Arena. Haven't seen them in Raid or Arena. Do you think upcoming events will happen in the coming days, or it's an unfortunate typo? I think this was just an unfortunate typo. Maybe they were originally planning to have it active in other game modes, but then they switched it the last second without switching to text. So I think this is just something, yeah, that they did not label correctly. And the follow-up to that, I've also noticed that I'm not getting any anniversary credits from Arena, any info on this. Yeah, so like I said, I think it's just a typo that they put in there, brother. Next question, love the videos. Do you think Taskmaster will be in a mercenary rework team, or might more likely in a new Black Widow team? I am hoping, I have no idea what they're going to do, and this may be delayed till November of this year, because I heard that's when the Black Widow movie was delayed to, because of this all the theaters closing and not being able to go out of the house. But I'm hoping that'll be part of the mercenary team. The mercenary team definitely needs a rework. He could serve as their leader to bring that team together, make them stronger. I don't want to see them have too much synergy with Black Widow, because I think Black Widow does need a rework to help out that Avengers team. I would much rather see that Avengers team work than a totally new Black Widow team, because we don't have enough save squads to keep adding all these teams. Fox next, switch it, please. Next question, for someone that doesn't have Black Bolt or Yo-Yo, and not including the obvious 2 of Phoenix and Ultron, who would be best for arena defense? Arena defense is kind of hard without those characters. I think the biggest threat that I see is when I see a Black Bolt Yo-Yo combo on the enemies, because I know that it's gonna be a tough fight. Phoenix and Ultron also make it very tough. So those are the top counters in the game, but without those, I would say Hela adds a strong counter. Captain Marvel, very strong Captain Marvel, is tough to deal with as well. Sinister adds a wrinkle into that as well. Sometimes, or most of the time, he's going to clone the wrong tune, so he won't make too much of a difference. But if he clones like a Phoenix of yours or someone, that could be trouble. Vision also works very well, and then you got Brotherhood with Magneto and Juggernaut. They could go and counter some other teams. So again, this is defense we're talking about, and a lot of teams can be beaten on defense with the right matchup. So I wouldn't stress too much about defense. Put in a good team, and just hope you don't get hit. Yeah, I mean, at the arena start I'm in, any team could be beat by any team, probably in the top 250. So I don't know if it matters too much nowadays, but yeah, try those. See if some of those combos work for you, brother. Oh, Invisible Woman, I forgot to mention her as well. Not necessarily the best damage dealer, but I've gotten close to timeouts because of Invisible Woman. So you might want to throw her in there as well. Next question, which submission do you prefer better, triangle choke or armbar? I like looking at triangle chokes better, but I feel that when I do them, I'm put at risk, and I usually attempt them because I don't have a real good setup for them when someone's about to pass my guard. So it's like a last ditch effort to try to get them in something before I have my guard pass. So I would probably say for myself, arm bars, just because I could set that up from a few different positions, whereas triangles, I normally only set that up from guard. But I'm only a blue belt. I'm a very new blue belt, so I don't have all these cool setups like a lot of people do. So that's what I prefer. All right, next question from Farter6179. What's up, Valley? Haven't posted in a while. However, I got an idea. Yeah, with the wife while sitting in a hot tub talking about Strike Force. What are you doing? Anyway, we came up with a way to solve the gold problem for everyone. The key is in the early campaign levels. Equalize the gold output in the first few nodes with that with them on the last. That way end game players would farm for gold and new players would get the gold and the pieces they needed. I like it. I like it. Then make a trade-in store for go for lower pieces to trade up. For example, 10 X genes will get 1 improved slice gene, and so on and so on. Letting us know what you think. We'll be watching with you and our family on Monday. Keep on smashing it. So thank you for the question. I like both of these ideas. Are they things that Fox Next would do? I think I think it's more likely that they would increase the gold in the campaigns than creating a store. I just think just looking at how tough it is to them to solve the save squads issue, to solve some of the issues that are in the game right now, to add a whole new mechanic like trading in pieces. I mean, geez, how many things do you think would break if they added something like that into the game? So I don't know. I don't see it very likely, but I would very, very, very happy if they did that. I got a lot of crappy gear that I don't use that I would love to upgrade. Next question. What is going on? Greetings from Egypt. Oh my goodness. I think that's the first Egyptian question that we have had. Greetings from Texas, brother. I have 2 questions. First, since you are a wrestling fan, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania being in front of nobody? So I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and I did not watch that, but I did hear Chael Sonnen commenting on one of the Raws that unlike the UFC that was done with no crowds, the WWE, they lit the whole crowd so you could see that nobody was there, and they kept the mics on the ring so you could hear the wrestlers calling the match. I didn't watch it personally, but it doesn't sound very good. You know, it's commendable that they're still putting on those shows, but as far as what you would compare it to one of their normal products, obviously it's not going to be good. Now, hopefully they did implement some of these changes like the UFC did, keep it dark in the crowd. Don't have the mics on totally in the ring so you can't hear them calling signals. Pump up some music, punch up the announcers so it's hardly noticeable. Hopefully that is what they did. Next question. Why doesn't Hulk have the thunderclap? And since he gets stronger, the more he gets angry, why doesn't he have something like a charge that gets him more powerful when stacked? That's what I would have preferred to his rework. I think they tried to capture that essence with the rework, because when he drops below 50% health, he gets added offensive bonuses. But yeah, I much would have preferred his charges and stacking these charges every time he gets hit. Next question. What is up, Valley? Currently building my aim squad to beat up the villain campaign's nodes for Hela. What power do you recommend for beating these nodes and 3-starring the Hela node? They're at 130k at the moment. So I have heard of people beating that node pretty consistently with the 180k aim team. I've also seen people say that they've beaten those nodes with much less powered aim teams. Even I think I saw 118k aim team, but I haven't seen a screenshot of that. But I just heard somebody saying that, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think you're pretty close. I think once you get to maybe about 150, 160 level, you might want to go trying it again. It's unlike the challenges though that you get unlimited attempts. Each time you attempt it, you're gonna have to spend energy. So I wouldn't, if you're not able to pass it once you get to about 150, 160 total for your aim, I wouldn't keep trying it at that point. I would build them up a little bit more, and then try it after maybe every 10k or so. And try that. Let me know how it goes, brother. Good luck getting some Hela shards for you. Next question. What's up, ValleyFlyin? Hell Hydra. So I pulled a 6 Red Star Ghost Rider, only having 3 stars. Do you think he'll be farmable anytime soon? Hoping maybe a raid store since it's easy, since Strife is going to the Blitz store. New campaign chapters are quite difficult for me. So if he ends up in Nexus, I might be out of luck for some time. Can't even get Colossus or Hela, you know, so I think Nexus is that likely place for him. I would like to see him in a store, maybe arena store, raid store would be perfect. But yeah, we'll have to see. You know, like I said, there's some things that Fox Next plays very close to their vest, and that is one thing that they do not tell the envoys or anybody, I guess, because it allows them to make changes if they don't like the decision or renege on the decision. So we'll have to see. I would love the raid store. I would love the arena store even more though, brother. Next question. Just wondering, what are your thoughts on the Hero Collector game Disney Arena? I'm enjoying it. Global launch a few days ago. Wondering if you're going to be interested in it too. Love your content. Unfortunately, gave up on MSF and still watch your channel because I find you entertaining on a game I don't play anymore. Hope you're good, being safe out there. Thumbs up, punch, boom, muscle. So first of all, thank you so much for continuing to watch the channel, even though you're not playing MSF. And I've heard good things about Disney Arena. I got so many games that I want to test out. I mean, I got sponsors writing me, check out this game, and most of them I don't check out. And yeah, I just don't have the time. I've heard very good things about this game. They do have a real-time PvP in there, so I am curious, and I may down the road check this game out. But yeah, there's so many other games that I can't even check out right now just because of bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth for all those games. So I play Marvel Strike Force and I play a few other games, but starting a new game, I don't think I could get very hardcore into any other game after Marvel Strike Force. This is a very time-consuming game. Next question. Hey, Valley, what DD team are people using for the time run? Late game players who had 1 hour finish time. So I know a lot of players were going in after they got Ultron and we're just doing this on auto and putting in a pretty good timed run. With that said, we now have gear 14. We now have level 75. So I'm assuming that it is even easier. Plus we have some new characters. So I don't know if this team would work. After I got Ultron to the 7-star level, no reason to go into Dark Dimension 2 again. So this may or may not work, but it's kind of a hybrid team that I'm just thinking of off the top of my head. So take it with a grain of salt. Ultron, Minerva, Star-Lord, Black Bolt, we definitely want in there, and I guess some protection. So I guess Yo-Yo would be a good protector there. So try that team. That one might work very, very well. Or maybe someone like a Falcon to give them more speed or something. But I think Ultron, Black Bolt, Star-Lord, Minerva are going to be your key characters right there. Maybe like a Groot to dispel some debuffs off the team, or Invisible Woman. But yeah, I think those are the 4 key. You could rotate that 5th though. Next question. I really enjoy your content, and man, keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. So my question is, do you think Captain America and Winter Soldier might get some sort of rework and synergies to offset the new Hydra War defense team? No. I think their counters are going to be the new Power Armor team. If what I'm hearing about that defense down is correct, I'm thinking the counter right now is the Inhumans team, obviously, with Black Bolt and his thing, and probably the Black Order team. So just because of that, I don't see them going back and reworking certain tunes for that. I think it's more likely that once the Winter Soldier TV series comes out, that Winter Soldier will get a rework at that time, and hopefully he will have some synergy with Captain America. Next question. What are the best minions for the AIM team? I somehow started investing in them. So they're a very fun team. I think my preferred minions are gonna be, well, Scientist Supreme is not a minion, but AIM Security, AIM Assaulter, and what is my boy? Monstrosity. I like Monstrosity even before I pulled the 7 red star on him, but that's gonna be my 3 preferred. And then obviously Scientist Supreme and Graviton to round out that squad. Next question. Hulo, ValleyFlyin. Love the content. Watch your MSF videos religiously. They're so informing. I love the Wednesday news videos with Casino. Thank you very much, brother. It's literally my highlight of the week. So thank you, brother. Thank you for watching, and thank all of you guys out there for watching as well. The question is there any real point in Spider-Man Parker other than filling out a Spider-Verse 2.0 when Symbiote Spider-Man is literally about embodiment of anything you can do, I can do better? And if Spider-Verse was to get a legendary, who do you think it would be? So, yeah, I mean, he was a very good character for a while, but you're right. Symbiote Spider-Man literally does everything Spider-Man does, but better. So I don't know if there's a point to him being on a team, but he needs to have a team. So if you don't want to use him on a team, maybe use him back on the Hero Brawlers team, because he'll add a lot to that team. Who do I think could be a legendary for the Spider-Verse team? I think I'm going to go with the common answer that a lot of people are picking is Dr. Octopus. But if you're thinking about a symbiote team, I've heard that the god of the symbiotes, Null, is super powerful. So maybe he'll be a legendary candidate. But I don't know how popular he is. So I don't know if that would be a great one. But thinking most likely scenario, if we're not talking about symbiotes, if we're just talking about Spider-Verse, I think we have to go with the villains and get Dr. Octopus for that one. Next question. ValleyFlyin, what's up from Pittsburgh, brother? Was wondering if you knew more about the percent separation in Blitz. My teammate did 300% and I did 600%. We both qualified in the 11 to 25 range for the 25 Red Skull shards. So I'm not sure what the totals ended up being for this Blitz, but you guys, your scores probably were in that same percentage. So that's what I'm guessing happened, brother. Next question. Hello, ValleyFlyin from Salt Lake City. Been watching your videos at MSF for a while now, and first time writing in. Well, thank you for watching, brother, and greetings from Texas. Your content is awesome. Look forward to every video. Keep on smashing, brother. Anyway, my question, I'm a mid-game player currently working on building up my supernatural team with the anniversary event giving us some T4s. I wanted to know which T4 I should do first on my supernatural team. What would be the most worth it in my opinion? So, all right, so the first one I did, I think it was Ghost Rider's passive, and then not too long after that was Mortal's passive. I think those are the two most important ones for that team. I've also since done Mortal's special, and I've done Doctor Strange's ultimate and Doctor Strange's passive. Those are what I have on my teams right now, my supernatural team right now. I think those are the most value on that team right now. So those are, it's a toss-up. You could do Ghost Rider's passive and then Mortal's passive, or vice versa, but do the other one right after that. I think those are the two most valuable. And if you want to make that team better, you could do the other ones that I suggested. Next question. ValleyFlyin, do you know of any changes to Blitz? Also, good luck. When do you get a chance to start Dark Dimension 3? It may be this week. I just got my 4th character ready, and I'm just waiting up for a few mini uniques for Sinister, but possibly this week for Dark Dimension 3. Any changes to the Blitz? I know they were talking about a lot of changes to coming to Blitz mid-April, late April. Not sure how much of those things are still on track to be made live during that time frame, or how much of those things got pushed back. So kind of like a lot of the answers, we're kind of in a holding period because of this social isolation that's going on right now. So we'll have to see what happens with this stuff. I know they're targeting a bunch of stuff though for Blitz changes. Next question. Greetings from Central PA. Greetings from Northern TX, brother. That Red Skull Blitz was crazy competitive. I missed 2,000 by 600K with 19 million. Why do you think the scores were so off the mark with the predictions? All right, so I also missed it. I stopped about 18 million. I thought it was good. The predictions were about 15, and I was like, 17 should be good. And then I kept pushing it because of these milestone anniversaries. So I think that is one thing. I think a lot of people were really playing more Blitz than usual because the milestones for this anniversary event going on was so good. So I think that's the first key to that. Other thing, I noticed that 15 million used to be pretty hard back in the day, but I'm getting to that pretty easily, missing a lot of rotations and still getting to that score. So I think just people's rosters have increased, plus the start tech increase, so you're able to score more. So that's another reason. Also, we have more teams in the game that are able to win at 8.3. Back in the day, there was only, a handful of teams that could win at 8.3. We've gotten more and more and more teams. So that's another reason. And then this coronavirus stuff, we've gotten a lot of people staying in the house, the social isolation. So not a lot of outside things to do. So I think a lot more people are playing Blitz. So I think that's just a big perfect storm of all these things coming in all at the same Blitz. Plus, nobody's really flexed their Blitz muscles a lot because it's easy getting to a lot of these scores, and Red Skull's right there in these events. So it's just, like I said, perfect storm of all these things happening at once led to these crazy scores for Red Skull. I'm not sure of the timing of it, but I think the milestones are still going on for the next Red Skull Blitz. And yeah, I'm thinking those scores are gonna be just as crazy as this week. So be prepared, guys. Hey, Hulk Fist Bump, brother. How do you feel about the Blitz predictions for Red Skull? What do you think Foxnick will do to fix the milestones that are bugged? It also says a bunch of mine are completed that really aren't. So Cerebro did make an announcement that they are aware of this being bugged. And I guess they evaluate each bug on a case-by-case basis to see if players deserve compensation. If they fix it and it's no harm, no foul, it's just a visual error, then I don't think they're going to get any compensation. But for players that completed it during that time, and I heard it's just the last few that are grayed out. But if you've completed it, I'm sure you will get the rewards. If not, make sure you write into support for that. But yeah, the predictions, I think they didn't take into account all of these things going on at once. I think they're just factored in the Red Skull, and based on the kind of increase that the Blitz has been going for new characters, and a lot of people having to do. I've seen people with crazy scores. I'm like, man, your score is higher than mine, and I'm on a good pace for 15 million. But I think a lot of people were expecting it around then and missed the Blitz because of that. First time in a long time that I've missed a top 2,000 Blitz that I was going for. Valley, my brother, thanks for all you do. Thanks for the positive outlook. Well, thank you, brother. So I have 100 promotion credits right now. Take Sinister to 4 red and Yo-Yo as well. My Yo-Yo is my only Inhuman not at 4 red. So both of those are very viable candidates. I'm getting Black Bolt 4 red, waiting for him too. But I take those 2 up to 4 reds, or wait until the flash again to see if I could get more to take Black Bolt to 5 red, then use 5 gold promotion credits to get 6 MAT, 128 Sif shards to 6-star Black Bolt. So here's what I would do. You could take Sinister and Yo-Yo up right now. They're both viable candidates. As far as that taking Black Bolt up, I'm gonna wait. They announced some Blitz changes coming, and I mean some Red Star changes coming, and maybe one of the changes they will announce is that instead of costing 300 credits to promote someone from 4 to 5, it will cost less. So if they do that, wait till then. But I would wait till they finalize that before spending anything on that 300 credits. But yeah, both of those are good candidates to do in the meantime. Just make sure that before you take any character up to the next star level with promotion credits, that you already have them at that gold star level, because if you don't, it's probably better just to save, because you're going to see no immediate benefit from that. And you might see a benefit in a week or so if you get something really good. You get a good gold star for somebody. So yeah, just I would wait if you're going to do Black Bolt, but if you're going to do Sinister and Yo-Yo, then you could do it now. Plus, we don't know when the flash event to get more promotion credits is going to be. There was word that they may be pushing back that Wakanda event for more Red Star tickets or orbs. I'm not sure what it was going to be, but it's in relation to Red Stars. But I heard that probably is going to get pushed back as well. Next question. Hulk Fist Bump Brother. Oh yeah, baby. I'm trying to decide which team I should use for the new villain starting chapters. My Sinister 6 is around 167k, but they got totally wiped on the first node. My aim is around 1.6. 1.6 what total for that team? I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's a typo, but gold stars being mostly 3 or 4. Put some love into Sinister 6, even though their power level is enough to do Invisible Woman Shuri events. I try to beat that node with that team, or is it a dead end? Personally, you know, that Sinister 6 is a good team, but I don't see a lot of value in that team other than unlocking Invisible Woman or Shuri. They are good, but there's a lot better teams that you could be using your investment on. One of them is AIM. AIM arguably is one of the top 5 teams in the game right now. Yeah, arguably one of the top 5 teams in the game right now. And you don't need them at that crazy power level to beat that villain's campaign. Like I said, at 180, you should be able to do it pretty comfortably, but I've heard of people doing it with a lot less power than that. So I would use AIM because they're going to give you more value down the road than the Sinister 6. But yeah, it is up to you. If you're very close with beating those nodes with the Sinister 6, then go for it. But AIM is going to give you a better bang for your buck long term. So invest in them is who I would recommend. What is up, brother? Recently unlocked Red Skull last night. Any T4 I should put into Red Skull or the rest of the Hydra minions? I'm looking at Hydra Sniper as passive as one of them. He does have a good passive. I like the Hydra Rifle Trooper passive the best though, because it will give him a guaranteed attack on every non-attacking move from the Hydra minions. And if you look at them, they are from Hydra because they are opening with 4 non-attack moves. Red Skull is calling some assist. Scientist is probably gonna do the healing. Armored Guard is gonna taunt, and then Sniper is gonna give the buffs to everybody. So those are 4 non-attacking moves that you're gonna get guaranteed attacks from Rifle Trooper on. Plus, when he dies, he revives. He's gonna do a bigger percent damage on his AoE attack. So Rifle Trooper, that is the passive that I would do first on that team. Next question. Purple gear is really holding me back. What is the best options for getting purple gear? I just said raid every day. Raid every day and buy the gear that you need in the raid store if you aren't really hard farming characters. And I probably would save gold rather than buying it in the store and in the normal store. And then probably I wouldn't use the war credits on that because there's some good characters in there. So yeah. Raids is the key to everything, and there's time and really prioritizing which characters you want to be working on, and work on one character at a time, unless you're evenly building teams like I was in a previous question. And that's it, guys. Those are all the questions for the week. Hopefully your question made it in this video. If it did not, make sure you are a member of that Discord server so you could leave a question in the channel for a future episode. And I will see you guys next time. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, join the notification squad, guys, ring the bell, and share this with your friends. Let's grow this channel, build up all the subscribers, and dominate the world together, guys. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Check out some of the links down below that support the channel if you want to. There's BlueStacks. That is totally free. There's some other things that support the channel that you can spend money on, like some Valley merch and stuff. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. And make sure you guys check me out on social media. Give me a Hulk fist bump, baby. ValleyFlyin out.